Good afternoon. It's October 10th, 2023. And today we had, uh, it started out as a big move up again today, but then we sold off. Um, and I think this is the reason why we hit that level of uh, previous support. It's now acting as resistance, plain and simple. And you can see that's exactly where we bounced. So, about 45 minutes until market close, so a lot could happen until then. But here's what we're looking at. So early on, we had this overnight range, and you could buy down here, expecting the market to rally to the other side, but it's not really a good signal bar. It's a third entry as well, and we didn't really get any good higher low setups. This one didn't break low, or else that'd be a pretty good setup. So maybe you just buy there. But we ended up forming a channel up. You get a break, move to a new high, and then we go sideways, and that proves to be an important level of resistance. Honestly, you might take this one. This is a second entry short right here after going sideways. Maybe you take this second entry short, but I'd probably be expecting prices to come hit these highs. So anyway, we go sideways a bit. You see we test it again, goes lower, come down, bounce off the midline, and then we get a second entry short off that price level again. So I like that one. Scares you to death right here when it almost stops you out. But then you get the scalp, and then it bounces, and we just take off after that. Then you get confirmation of the trend channel right there. So that is a failure, but in this context, I don't think you really want that. A lot of resistance right here. It's just not. Maybe you take it thinking that we'll test the highs, but I don't think that's a good probability. But you do get a first entry, second entry off that trend line again. I think you got to take that. It's sideways though, so it's not a great setup. Turns out a lot of people like that. We break out, we pull back, and I think that creates a midline, because you see once we get up here, that's when people start taking profits. We find some resistance right here, pull back, break out, go higher, and you get a first entry, second entry off that trend line. And you can see plenty of people like that. And we form a body gap right here that turns out to be pretty important. They try and close that gap here, and then we come up here, you get a sell-off, and they try and close that gap here, and they fail again. So you get a first entry, failed second entry. It's also like a reversal pattern. If you look at that as like the first leg down, or even like this, break, move to a new low, first entry, failed second entry short. It's a second entry long, great setup, confirms that trend line. Boom, off to the races. You get a big move out of that. A lot of sideways stuff up here. First entry, really this looks like it's probably like two legs in here. So I was looking at that as like a higher low. And then this channel just starts to fade. And we're going sideways. And so I didn't even think about this, but looks like we'll come up short of this move. Yeah, so we came up short of that. But look, you have the original channel right here, and then it moves into a somewhat flatter channel, and then it goes sideways. So you could argue for taking reversals at this point. First entry. So the reversal up here would have worked, but if this is a new high, first entry, failed second entry, this one doesn't work. But then you take this one again and it does work, and that one pays off big time. Big move down. I was thinking maybe we would test the midline, but it hasn't happened. So here we close this body gap, and that's, you can see, look at all the buying that came back in. So you have a break of this channel and move to a new low, and then we move in this flatter channel. And, you know, prices are just ranging at this point, but I like this as a second entry long. This confirms this channel. It's good enough for a scalp, doesn't do much else. And then you get that quick double test right there. So maybe you take that one, but I thought we were in an uptrend and I thought we were going to go up. So I marked this aggressive, but you get a break, more sideways stuff. And you got a hidden second entry off that midline, and this is clearly a level of resistance. So maybe you take that one, and that pays off big time. And then you get this failed second entry short, but it's the bias is down. We just had this big sell-off. I don't think it's a good idea. So I think prices are trying to go higher, but they're having some trouble. So that's how I saw it today. Hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.